Nation of Fit in 10. And welcome to day 37. And unfortunately, I am still trying to upload day 36. Of course, it is late here on day 37. I filmed day 36 last night. I don't know what it is about being in Campbell River, but it doesn't matter whether I do it through my data or through the Wi-Fi. It's just taking forever to upload. So my apologies to you, but probably by now you've seen it. But yeah, it's just taking, it's still uploading right now. So hopefully I'll have it up tonight and posted. And yeah, I've broken my streak. This is the first time where I actually have not gotten the video posted on the day that it's supposed to be posted, at least not to YouTube. All right, so listen, today I'm gonna talk to you guys about stimulants. No, sorry, not stimulants. I'm going to talk to you today about fat burners because I've had a few people ask, are they worth it? Do they work? What types are there? And I'm going to stay away from any pharmaceutical-based fat burners, and I'm just going to talk about, quote, natural-based, legal fat burners that you can buy from health food stores. There's basically two kinds you can get. You can get a stimulant-based fat burner, or you can get a non-stimulant-based fat burner. So a stimulant-based fat burner will have things in it like caffeine or potentially ephedrine, although ephedrine is, I think it's illegal in Canada. Or maybe, I can't remember if they did legalize it. Anyways, I'm not sure. But it could be things like ephedrine, caffeine. There's a few other ones out there. What's the popular one I used to use 20 years ago? It's escaping me now. Anyways, these are going to be fat burners that really we want to stay away from, even though as a fat burner, they're going to be, or a weight loss product, they're going to be more effective. Why? Well, because they're stimulant based, and yes, they'll kill your hunger, and yes, they'll act as a diuretic, so they'll make you, pee a little bit more, sweat a bit more. But most importantly, they're going to make you move more, right? So who hasn't had a dark cup of coffee, or maybe when you first started drinking coffee and you felt the effects of a lot of caffeine on your system? You want to move. This is exactly how a stimulant-based fat burner works. It's gonna wanna make you move around, and as a result, you're gonna expend more energy. And if you can imagine having this in the morning and in the afternoon, and then doing this on a daily basis, it's going to add up over time. But this is not a long-term solution, and it can have consequences, right? We don't want to keep putting the body in a sympathetic state, in a fight or flight state, where the body is producing essentially adrenaline constantly, and it's essentially stressing the body. We don't want to do that. Okay, so this is not a long-term solution at all, and it's not good for us. Okay, and it is also something that the body's going to adapt to over time. So as you go through using a stimulant-based fat burner, you're gonna have to use more of it as time goes on, because your body was going to adapt to it. It's gonna have less of that stress response. And so it's not gonna be as effective. Now, if you were going to use a non-stimulant-based fat burner, well, there's a couple, I won't go through all the popular ingredients, but I'll go through some here. There are things like kelp, okay? And kelp is high in iodine, and iodine is gonna help with thyroid stimulating hormone production, or TSH production. And it's also gonna help with free thyroxine levels. So again, the active ingredient to help basically boost your metabolism. Hormone, I should say. There are other products out there like L-carnitine, okay? And this has been shown to help liberate fat from fat cells, essentially. Caffeine has the same effect, by the way. It is a stimulant, but it has been shown to help liberate fat from fat cells. Again, this is not going to be a massive liberation of fat, but it does tend to show that there's going to be some level of, I guess you could say, helping to get fat out of the cell and utilize it for energy over, say, glucose. There's also green coffee bean. Okay, so aside from green coffee bean being high in caffeine, it's also high in something called chlorogenic acid. And this has been shown to reduce carbohydrate absorption in the intestinal tract. So another interesting ingredient that you'll see on some of these non-stimulant based fat burners. Another great one is chromium picolinate. Okay, chromium picolinate is basically been shown to assist with sugar management. So basically, kind of the way protein acts, in the sense that it helps to what's the word I'm looking for here? It helps to partition sugar to go in the right direction. So it helps to shuttle sugar away from fat cells. I mean, maybe this is not maybe I'm not putting this in the most entirely accurate explanation here, but basically it helps to get sugar to go more towards muscle cells and less towards fat cells. Okay, so it just has that partitioning effect. Okay, protein has the same effect, by the way, dietary protein. So it also helps with insulin sensitivity. All right, so this just means that less insulin can do your body can produce less insulin because the insulin does a better job at getting sugar into the cell. So probably less insulin production, I would say, and probably even on the muscle cell, it is more receptive to insulin. Okay, so it's sort of working on two different ends of the spectrum, on the pancreas at one end, and then on the muscle cell at the other end. So again, that was kelp I mentioned, or that was chromium picolinate that I just mentioned. But there are things like kelp, that was the first thing I mentioned, L-carnitine, green coffee bean. So those are just a few that I'll talk about here. Okay. How am I doing for time? I'm at 7 minutes. Okay, let's get to the message of the day. What is my message of the day? I did even have it open. I do have it open. Okay, day 36. No, day 37. Okay, this is actually really, really an important message because believe it or not, I've had people drop out of the challenge because they felt so guilty that they were focusing on themselves day in, day out, with their diet and their training, etc. So I wanted to remind you all that taking care of yourself is an essential part of taking care of others. Taking care of yourself is, if you want to be able to better take care of your children, of your loved ones for that matter, maybe it's your pets or whatever, you've got to take care of yourself. You cannot do a good job of taking care of other people, or not as good of a job as you can do as if you focused on yourself first, to some degree. I mean, I'm not talking about obviously throwing all of your time towards that, but you've got to focus on yourself. You've got to put energy into making your life better, making your health better, working on things that are going to even help with your self-esteem. This is going to help you to better take care of other people. So just remember that taking care of yourself is an essential part of taking care of others, okay? All right, I'm gonna leave it there. It's late tonight. My contacts are super, super dry. And positive energy, positive vibes. Believe in yourself, and for the love of God, give some gratitude, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. I will do the video earlier, and I will start uploading it earlier. See you guys.